Hello everyone, my name is Freda Babele, your host here on Starlight TV. So today with me is a special guest. His name is Mr. Samson Zinom. He is a graduate of pharmacy from the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He grew up in Kaduna State before now residing in Gombe State and working here in Gombe State. He is the founder and owner of Zinom Pharmacy, Gombe. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
We are so very glad to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
You are a pharmacist.
Yes.
And we know you as a pharmacist.
Yes.
But you are more now like a businessman than even a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So if we ask you to like introduce yourself, what can you say?
Well, the introduction you've given at least is partly enough. Well, one thing I'll add is that I'm an entrepreneur. I started full-fledged entrepreneurship in 2015. Yes, but before then, after graduating, I worked with GlaxoSmithKline as a medical sales representative for 2 years, and after which I also worked with a local company here in Nigeria, and afterwards I worked with other companies before Zinom Pharmacy started. We officially launched in October 2015. So that's when the entrepreneurship journey started.
Okay.
Yes.
For so many young people, like now, the state of the country, they are being advised for young people to go into entrepreneurship. So for a young person who just graduated from school, like what do you recommend or how do you advise that this person should start up as an entrepreneur? Because so many young people will tell you that they don't have capital, they don't know how to start, they don't have money. Some people, it's just money, they need money to start a business. So I know that maybe you probably didn't have much money before starting. So what can you tell a young person who just wants to go into this entrepreneurship?
Okay. Young people should know that nothing happens by chance. A lot of things are deliberate. And thirdly, things take time. Yes, because the building process of a business, why I'm saying a building process is because it's actually a process. If you give birth to a child today, you don't expect that the child should start working tomorrow.
Sure.
And so building an enterprise takes time, and then it takes a lot of patience to come on profitably. I remember before I left the university, I had to really think about the things I really wanted to do. Now, if a person knows what it is that he wants to do, if he's given other options, he would immediately reject.
Sure.
And so I had to sit down to really think and decide on what it is that I wanted to do. And so leaving the university, when I was doing my internship in Gwagwalada Specialist Hospital, Abuja, that was when I discovered properly, my vision. And from then, I went for my NYSC. When I returned, I was offered a job to work in the hospital setting. Because pharmacy practice has different aspects. But I had made up my mind earlier that I was going to really work in the business aspect of pharmacy practice. Yes, starting from there. Because I know that business is actually what I want to do. for life, not on a part-time level. And so I made up my mind I was going to do that. And so I was offered a job. I refused the job deliberately and moved to Abuja. And I started working with a small pharmacy outlet where I worked for three months before I now joined GlaxoSmithKline as a medical sales representative. So business is actually a journey. Entrepreneurship is a journey. It's a process. So my advice to young people: first, discover your vision, the things that you really want to do. Because if you don't, any place will look like it. Now, if I'm going to Abuja, I would go to the park and then get a vehicle going to Abuja. But if I enter a vehicle going to, let's say, Maiduguri, it means I'll be going in the opposite direction.
Sure.
So the decision making as regards what it is that you want to do and where it is that you want to arrive at is very critical for we young people. Action is very important. Now, if what I want or I love to have is, take for example, an iPhone, and I know that I'm having it only for the purpose of aesthetics, not necessarily bringing income for me. So if that the iPhone is not part of my core business line, it's not an asset to me in terms of my business, I would rather sacrifice having an iPhone now and maybe have a simple Android phone that will be able to connect me to the world as I'm doing. And so from there, if my business becomes stronger, I can now decide, okay, and so delayed satisfaction is very key. Now, there are people that have vehicles, they are driving, but they say they don't have capital, to start up a business. What are you doing with a vehicle when you know that you want to start a business? It comes to the place of accessing finance for your business because of the relationship you've established. People are always willing to tell you, what to do, what not to do to be able to access finance. They are always willing to give you information beyond, the regular, beyond what you know, beyond the regular, in order for you to be able to achieve the things that you want to do. So relationship is key. Business opportunities open because of relationship.
Sure.
You might not know that, okay, a contract is going down, but because of the relationship you have, somebody just pick up his phone and say, are you aware of this? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of this? So by that way, you're able to, have access to such business opportunities, because of a good relationship. And so relationship is something that is key.
Okay, to move forward, I just want to ask, like, for small business owners, people that have small businesses and they are just starting, they are trying to grow their business, how can they deal with multiple taxation? I know that small business encounter a lot of, taxes from government, from different places. And they complain a lot, how are they going to pay their bills when they have all this tax coming in? So how do you think this issue can be tackled?
This question is actually pertinent. The issue is with the dwindling resources that we're having, from oil reserves, in the country. The government is actually looking more into, taxation, taxing businesses, individuals, things that were not, were not focused on before. But now the attention is actually on tax. For some governments actually have a way of giving tax break and tax incentives, to businesses at all. So, but these are the things that entrepreneurs actually face as regards that. And so, if an entrepreneur, pays so much, in tax, there's what we call transference of this tax to the customer. The customer will eventually be the one to pay for tax, and that's why you find prices of things are always going up and going up and going up, because for a capitalist system, a business, they will have to do all the calculations, put everything into, and then add their own profit and then transfer everything to the customer. And so eventually that will now lead to a lot of changes in price, and all things will continue to change and all. So, but with good and excellent tax policies that.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time. And I know that a lot of young people are watching this and are getting one or two things from this conversation. That you should, try to delay gratification, delay some enjoyment, and then also be patient when running a business and all that. So finally, before we leave, I just want to ask, if you can just give us 3 wise financial decisions that any person can make, both the young, both the middle, both the old, anybody. 3 wise financial decisions that someone can make, because there are a lot of people who are even working, they're earning salary, but that money is still not enough for them. So what are 3 wise financial decisions you think a normal average individual should have?
First of all, for every person that has desire to do business, first they must have selling experience. Meaning you must deliberately go and learn how to sell, because that will help you with a lot of finance. Because even if you are looking for a job, you have to sell yourself.
Sure.
Because you have to tell them the reason why they should hire you as a person. So that's part of selling and marketing, yourself. So the second thing I want to say is that for core individuals that really want to do business proper, the second thing is that they have to learn how to articulate their information, towards any business proposition they want to do. Meaning they must learn how to talk publicly. Public speaking is very important, and it's a serious decision, financial decision that every person must really, have. I mentioned the need satisfaction and leverage, and then the last thing I would say is the aspect of start small. Start small. Don't ever think that business will just start big. No, businesses always start small. I started my business with 247,000. Yes, the business has metamorphosed into a lot of things. And so always start small and learn the ropes. Look for a place where you can do apprenticeship. Yes, I had to do an apprenticeship program for some years before. That was even before I even entered the university, in line with the blog business. So you have to identify the areas where you really start starting.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we've learned a lot from this conversation today. For those that are watching us right now, you've heard it all. Learn public speaking skills and all this. And I know that from this discussion, you've learned 1 or 2 things that will make you to be on your own tomorrow. So thank you once again for coming into the show.
You're welcome.
We are so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And from me, it's bye-bye from Starlight TV. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thank you.